Welcome back to Leszek's Lost and Found. Is white chocolate really chocolate? Let's discover it together. We already talked about chocolate in one of our previous videos. Today we are going to explore one of the byproduct of chocolate, which became a part of our life enjoyment. The cacao butter. Who doesn't know it? Have you ever asked yourselves about its origins? It's used in our everyday life, and in many different ways. Let's discover how it comes to existence. Cacao butter, the luxurious fat extracted from cocoa beans, plays a vital role in the world of chocolate. It contributes to the smooth texture, melt-in-your-mouth sensation, and rich flavor that makes chocolate so beloved. But how does this delectable fat transform from a humble cocoa bean? Let's delve into the fascinating process of cacao butter extraction. The starting point. The journey begins with the bean. The story of cacao butter begins with the Theobroma cacao tree, cultivated primarily in equatorial regions like West Africa. After reaching maturity, the trees produce pods containing 20-50 cocoa beans. These beans are the foundation for both cocoa powder and cacao butter. Harvesting and fermentation, setting the stage for flavor. The cocoa pods are harvested when ripe, and the beans are carefully extracted. To unlock their full flavor potential, the beans undergo a crucial step called fermentation. During this process, naturally occurring yeasts and bacteria break down the pulp surrounding the beans, generating heat and releasing complex flavor precursors. Drying and transportation. Preparing the beans for processing. Once fermentation is complete, the beans are thoroughly dried to reduce moisture content and prevent spoilage. This drying process can be done in the sun or using specialized drying machines. The dried beans are then transported to processing facilities where the magic of cacao butter extraction unfolds. Cracking and winnowing. Separating the shells from the prize. At the processing plant, the dried beans are cracked open to remove the shells. This process reveals the inner core of the bean, known as the cocoa nib. The shells are discarded, while the cocoa nibs, rich in both cocoa butter and cocoa solids, move on to the next stage. Grinding and liquefaction. Transforming nibs into cocoa mass. The cocoa nibs are then finely ground into a thick paste called cocoa mass. This cocoa mass contains all the components of the cocoa bean, including cocoa butter, cocoa solids, non-fat components, and a small amount of moisture. The star of the show. Separating the fat, cacao butter extraction. Here's where the focus shifts to extracting the prized cacao butter. Pressing. The most common method utilizes a hydraulic press. The cocoa mass is subjected to intense pressure, forcing the liquid cocoa butter to separate from the solid cocoa solids. This process may be repeated several times to maximize cacao butter yield. Solvent extraction. An alternative method uses a solvent, typically food-grade solvents like hexane, to dissolve the cocoa butter from the cocoa mass. This method is generally less common due to concerns about residual solvent traces in the final product. Refining and filtration. Polishing the cacao butter. The extracted cacao butter is still crude and may contain impurities. It undergoes a refining process to remove any remaining cocoa solids or particles, resulting in a smooth and consistent product. Filtration techniques may also be employed to further purify the cacao butter. The result? A versatile and valuable ingredient. The final product is pure, golden-colored cacao butter. This luxurious fat boasts a mild, chocolatey flavor and a smooth, melt-in-your-mouth texture. Cacao butter finds applications beyond just chocolate. It's a valuable ingredient in cosmetics. Lotions, creams, and other skincare products often utilize cacao butter for its moisturizing properties. Confectionery. Cacao butter is sometimes used in other candies and confections to add richness and texture. Pharmaceuticals. Cacao butter has some medicinal applications, such as a suppository base or a topical ointment base. We all are familiar with white chocolate, which may have the word chocolate in its name, but it doesn't actually contain cocoa solids, the key ingredient that gives dark and milk chocolate their characteristic flavor and color. White chocolate is made mostly of cacao butter, milk, and sugar. Thank you for watching. I hope this video brought you some new information. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel.